kind of, if you just compare the two, you can see on the left a light scanner scan, and this one actually got kind of lucky on the left. It got pretty deep into that inside, so it must have been shooting it from above. I'm going to assume that the bottom part is probably cut off and missing on that. But on the right side, you see what it looks like with an industrial grade CT scan. And we have this object on the right that I've scanned actually for everybody to check out. It's one of the 30 that I brought for people to take a look at. And you can see when you go down in there, there's a nub on the bottom, and so that offers a clue as to the manufacturing process. This artifact, the opening, the mouth opening of this thing is so small that they cored it, and clearly coring it with some sort of a drill was a part of the manufacturing process. They snap that core off, and they do that before they hollow out the walls, of course, and that core at the bottom they couldn't get to. And so there's still that tiny little core at the bottom of this thing that they couldn't get to. They couldn't clean it out of there. So just pretty fascinating that still exists down there. That mouth opening on that one is about the size of a penny. So that's another mystery, like how do you get inside of these things, and how do you hollow out the walls within the inside of them? It's a huge problem, and it can't be explained with primitive tools. In addition, surface detail is moderate to high on CT, and it's high on light scanning, so slight advantage there for light scanning, although the scanners that we CT with are high. Again, the internal structure here, that one on the left, I'll show you guys. I brought that one as well. That's what I thought it looked like until I got it CT scanned. It's a little limestone vase, and that's what I thought that it looked like. And when I got it CT scanned, I realized that that's actually what it looks like. And so this one has been repaired. And you can see the holes on the thing, you can see the cracks on the thing, because what happened when they repair these, oftentimes in modern times, they're using clay. The CT scanner sees through all of that. So the CT scan, so tell me that this was made in 2014, in somebody's garage. I mean, it's just not, I mean, it's silly. It's really, it's silly a lot of times, people with the fake modern argument. So, but anyway, that's what a CT scan will give you. It'll also give you the ability to distinguish between material types, so gold handles versus, or two different types of materials that are used. It will, the only kind of downside on it is that, and best for internal analysis. The only kind of downside on it is that they're a little bit more expensive on the CT scan side. The scans are revealing some metrological findings as well, as I alluded to earlier. So again, this is a big takeaway from these things, is that they weren't just arbitrarily created and designed without measurement, without some sort of a sense of like how big they wanted them to be. This ancient system of measurement was used within the Great Pyramid. It's called a royal cubit. It's 52.4 centimeters. You divide by 4 to get the hand, and you divide the cubit by 28 to get a finger. And so 52.4 centimeters divided by 28 is 1.871 centimeters. That's 18.71 millimeters. And that's the size of a finger. And that was primarily the system of measure that they were using to create a lot of these artifacts. And they were doing it very, very precisely. The system of measurement was first discovered by Isaac Newton in the Great Pyramid in the late 17th century. And so I think it's fair to say that whoever built the pyramids built the vases. I mean, it's the same metrological system. And I also think that if we can find this metrological system elsewhere in the world, such as Turkey, such as Asia, such as South America, Easter Island, Malta, then I think we can prove that this ancient civilization existed. This pre-Younger Dryas civilization existed, because if we think that the pyramids are really, really old and the vases are really, really old, and we can find this somewhere else, then it would be smoking gun evidence that there was a civilization prior to the Younger Dryas. If you look at just this artifact, for example, this is one of the more precise, more pristine objects that I have in the collection. The height on it, it is 4 royal fingers tall. It is 6 royal fingers wide. The lip on it, the top part is 3.5 royal fingers, and the mouth opening is 2 1/3. And those are accurate to within less than, the height is to within less than 0.2 millimeters. So do this with and see what a millimeter looks like, and then squeeze that down to 0.2 of that. That's how far off it is from 18.71 millimeters. I mean, it's extraordinarily precise to this metrological system. And on the width, it's within 0.02 millimeters. So, we've talked about the circularity of this and other objects and how perfect they are. I mean, unless someone was also faking a metrological system that wasn't supposed to have been invented until 2600, 2650 BC, and these are pre-dynastic. Unless someone's faking that and putting that in here, then these are real, and these are extraordinarily precise, both from a roundness standpoint and a metrological unit standpoint. Similar on the next one, on the thin wall vase, we have very similar measurements. Most are within 0.2, 0.3 millimeters. And then I have this massive artifact that's it's made of granite. It's not as precisely made as some of the other ones, but we also find the royal finger system of metrology in this one as well. And what we find on this massive one is that it's not done in fractions. It's done in whole royal finger measurements. So the height, the width, the lip, the neck, the handles, they all measure out to within 0.5 millimeter up to 1 millimeter of that royal finger. So every measurement that you can take on this thing measures out to royal finger measurement. And then, lastly on the metrology system, this artifact from Alex, what the hell's his name? Adam Young, thank you. His collection, I always get Adam and Alex confused, and working with those two guys together. But anyway, this is from his collection, and some of you guys, if you're really into this vase topic, might recall that unsigned.io did some really great work on this, and they found the flower of life within this artifact, or it could be called the grid of life. And they found that the mouth opening on this thing was 1 base unit. That's what they called it, 1 base unit. And after looking at this and realizing that these royal finger measurements were used, it was easy and obvious to realize that this 1 unit measurement was actually 1 royal finger measurement.